Hey everyone, welcome to GTO Charts. Today I'm just going to go through a session I played a while ago on GG Poker and review my session and look up any spots that I'm not sure about in GTO Wizard and maybe in our charts, and yeah, work out how to improve using GTO Wizard. Okay, so I'll just click play and I will skip over any boring bits. You might see two cursors, one from the recording session and one here from me reviewing the recording session. Over on the right table, I don't usually flat on the small blind, but I was just getting started. I was sort of distracted trying to set up, so I just flatted the ace-4 out of the small blind. The strategy I apply to try and employ is either 3-betting or folding from the small blind, and even 3-betting or three-betting or folding from any after there's been an open. So on the left, this starts, I remember this actually, even though it was a while ago, starts as a reasonably interesting spot. Obviously, I'll just pause it there. Obviously, it's an easy 3-bet from the button when the cutoff opens, and then the small blind does cold 4-bets me, and I was a little confused what to do, whether I should flat, shove, or even fold. So we look that up in the GTO Wizard, see what it has to say. Okay, so here we are in GTO Wizard. Take note of the fact that the colors changed a little bit. If you're familiar with what I already had, just made overbet purple, raise smalls orange, calls green, fold is blue. Okay, and up here I have changed to 2.5 is what I use. Gone with that. So the cutoff raises I raised. One thing to note, that cutoff was he wasn't very deep. He was a short stacker, which he ends up folding anyway, so it probably doesn't matter too much. The I raise in the button and small blind raises 21, fold, cutoff folds, and it's up to us. The button and the strategy is ace king suited, pretty much just shove all in. So if we go back and see what I do, I think I remember, I know what I did. And click play might help. And I think I was in this spot a few weeks before this, and I made a horrible fold. I looked it up and it was definitely never a fold. So I end up shoving, which is good. And over on the right, I'm going to fold, forget about that. And on the right. He ends up having queens here. We run it twice and see what happens. It was looking good. Lose that one. And I'll win that one, which is good. Okay, so that's nice to see that we played that according to GTO. And I may stop it here and just forward to where we get into another interesting spot if the action doesn't look like there's much happening. All right, I might just pause the recording and find the next interesting spot. Okay, yeah, it didn't take too long actually. Over here on the right, I noticed that I got 3-bet. Let's just go back a little bit there. If I open king queen off, I get 3-bet from the I'm in middle position. I get 3-bet by the cutoff, and king queen off. Let's look it up in our charts rather than GTO. Sorry, rather than GTO Wizard. Okay, so here is GTO charts. If you're not familiar with them, please go to our website, gtocharts.com, and check them out. But it's as simple as here's your opening ranges, middle position, at king queen off, which was standard open, obviously, middle position, and the cutoff 3-bet me. And what I should do is the other nice thing is you mouse over, you get the exact ranges. I should 4-bet 10 and below and pretty much fold the rest. So if we switch back to did, funny, oops, again, but the funny thing to note here is that, I'll start this again, the random number generator here to 1, which would make me actually in this instance 4-bet 10 and below 4-bet. So I would guess that I didn't probably do that, but let's have a look. I just instant fold. But in that instance, if we could remember all the things we're supposed to do, all the frequencies, which you obviously can't, we approximate close as we can. I obviously knew that king queen off wasn't very strong there, and it was normally a fold and not a 4-bet. Very rarely a 4-bet. Okay, let's see if I can find the next interesting hand. This session, let's see what I do with these pocket sevens on the left. And got 2 hands going here, so interesting to see what I should do here. I would obviously check 2 spots to check out here. Let's just pause it. I'm trouble pausing. Okay, let's just do one at a time, and let's start with the pocket sevens on the left, and I 3-bet and I flattered. Okay, so let's see if that was GTO approved. Okay, so here we are, and I have put in the necessary data. The cutoff, sorry, where are we? Cutoff, we raise, fold, small blind, 3-bets, fold, and then it comes to us here in the cutoff with our pocket sevens. And if you look here, it's a call, not very often, 8.8% of the time or thereabouts. So let's go back. So for me to flat here, I think the random number generator should be very low. Obviously 99 is not low. So if we're going by frequencies, and GT Wizard pretty much should have folded this. But anyway, I called. Let's see how it plays out. But I mean, you can call sometimes, but the flop comes 2-10 jack, and he bets 11.5 big blinds, about half pot. Let's not worry about the hand on the right for the moment. And I fold. Let's have a look. Okay, so there seems to be 2 bet sizes for him if he was playing strictly via this chart, but he isn't. He bet half pot. It suggested 2 bets, either 35% or 70%. He bet 50%. So if he bet 35%, we could possibly call. It seems like. Sometimes if we look here, sevens of the small amount that we did raise, and call a small amount of time. If you bet bigger, pretty much folding sevens all the time. But yeah, I don't think that was too horrible, that one. and go over it again. He bets and we fold. I'm not going to worry about this. Right, I don't think that was very interesting. Seemed to flat 8-5. Diamonds check, and he ends up with pocket queens. Won't go over that one. See if we can find something more interesting coming up. Okay, so look here. This guy opened. Now I normally try and 3-bet or fold, but in this instance I actually flattered. So yeah, let's have a look at some charts first of all. Okay, first we'll look at these charts, 6 max cash C, and these are 3-bet or fold, which is what I try and play at lower limits. That's recommended. You see less flops, and less flops you see, the less rake you pay. So these are recommended for 10 NL, 25 NL, maybe 50 NL. And with 5% rake, no ante. So yes, 3-bet or fold. So in that position, I was in the cutoff. The middle position opened. Middle position opens. I'm in the cutoff, and as you can see, there's no flatting range. So going by that, I should have folded. However, you'll have some other charts, 6 max cash A, and they do employ a flatting and 3-betting strategy. So if we look at this instance, well, we're in the cutoff, the MP opens, and 5-4 suited can flat sometimes, never 3-betting. And we then end up betting third pot, I guess, and he folds, and I won't go into that too much. I think it was probably okay, but as I said, I think I like to analyze more the 3-betting or folding pots, which is the strategy that I'm trying to go with, rather than flatting hands. And so obviously call out of the big blind, and I flop the gut shot. So let's concentrate on the hand on the right for the moment. And I check, and a king comes on the turn. I check. Maybe I could have bet that, and he bets, and then I bink an ace on the end. And it's a snap call from me, obviously, and start having queen 10. So let's have a look at that. Okay, so middle position opened, and we're in the big blind here. If that happens, we just click on MP open and tells us what to do. Most charts, or lots of charts, if you mouse over, you see the exact frequencies. Not always, though. Some do not have it, but you can have a pretty good guess here. That looks to me like 15% of the time should 3-bet, and the other time we flat. We flatted, which is good. And let's have a look at GTO Wizard for the rest of the hand. Okay, so here we are in GTO Wizard, and I have input the necessary data from that hand, well, the flop at least. And just to go over, compare it with our charts, it's pretty much saying the same thing, that when the can gets you in the big blind after the cutoff raised, the ace-7 suited is raise 12% of the time. And actually that's wrong, sorry. Click on that. It's a raise 16.5%, and a call 83. So we called, which is good, and that sort of lines up with our charts. Now on the flop, we had the 9-6-5 flop, big blind checks, which is pretty standard. If we look at his, it's pretty checking 100% is what he should be doing. she did. Then it came to us, and on our ace-7 suited, we should bet. If you look here, 14%. Sorry, let's click on that. 20% and check 80%. One thing to note here on GTO Wizard is I have it on simple or post flop, meaning that it'll just show you, it won't break it, the bet sizes down. If you want that info, come over here, click grouped, and as you see, then it gives you a couple of options. Well, an overbet, very, very minimal. But if you just concentrate on the red and the orange, there is a bet medium, a bet small, maybe a betting medium. It's red, betting small 9.2, but concentrating on this, checking is the play the majority of the time, which is, I believe, what we did. Let's go back. Okay, so we check. Sorry, we're in the big blind. What am I talking about? We check from the big blind. He checks, and the king of club turn bets. We call. Ace of hearts could lead possibly, but I didn't, and called. Okay, let's have a look at those final bits of the hand. Okay, so let's look at the turn first. The turn came the king of clubs. This is pretty interesting, actually. And I checked on the big blind, but if we look at the wizard is pretty much saying to overbet 76% of the time. And then bet medium, bet small, check. So either overbetting or checking. I'm going to put that back to simple. Which really doesn't tell us the bet size. It's just saying betting 80% or checking 21%. Interesting. So we'll get it back to grouped. Shows us the overbet. Okay, which I did not do. I just checked. I checked. Then he bets a very small amount, 33%, and then back to us. Nothing to do but call, I thought. Once again, see here the A7 suited. Look over here to the A7 diamonds, which I think was our exact holding. Yes, it was. And what we need to do, according to GTO Wizard, is a lot of overbetting and pretty much either raise large or raise medium in a very, very, very small amount of the time. Just calling, which is not what I did, interestingly enough. Okay, and then the river came the ace of hearts. Close that, and big blind us. Checked. Interesting, the ace-7 seems to have almost disappeared, but you're checking 100% of what you have left. Reason this is no longer here is the fact that it was doing other things with it. It was overbetting. It was raising, and you have a very, very small amount left, and of that, you're pretty much going to check it, which we did, and then when he bet, if I bet about 60%, what we should do is a7 is call. Okay, so that was pretty interesting. Let's go back. Okay, so yeah, so it's basically telling us that we should have um, firstly led that turn with an overbet most of the time, and then the fact that we checked and an A bet, we should have raised them with a gut shot. Okay, that's very interesting. Obviously, yeah, I have a lot to learn still. Okay, let's let it run again some more, see what happens. And there we see on the right, calling and thinking I was really good and played it correctly, and when we look at it, was not GTO at all. Pick up the beautiful aces on the left table, and let's see what happens. Obviously, easy 3-bet, and on the right, I have a fold, and he snap folds. On the left, let's pause and go to a nothing. Any of these? No. Of course, as soon as I pause, a hand comes up straight away. So left table, pocket nines, and we open. Of course, and he flats it, I think. And we'll just let this play out, I think, rather than just stop it here. Now, this is a spot where I'm not too au fait with what we should do. I used to lead most flops, but sometimes, the majority of the time, you should be checking, I think, from what I've learnt from GTO Wizard. But let's see what I do. Okay. And lead, I don't think there's anything you can do except call. I would hope I don't fold, however, in sort of a hairy situation now. Bets a little over half pot. The mouse is going crazy. I didn't know what to do, which is good because now we can have a look. Okay, so here we are, and this is the hand. This is the first spot where I open with pocket nines from the hijack / middle position, and obviously pocket nines is an open. It was 9 of spades, 9 of diamonds, which doesn't matter at the moment, and then cut off folded button called. They can call with a variety of hands. King 10 off is not one of those. Is that what he called me? Okay. Not sure. We'll look in a moment. We'll worry about our hand for the time being. So he called, and flop came King 6-4, and the action's on us. So this is where I was like not too sure what I should do. We look at nines, depending on what nines you have. So we had spades, hearts from memory. If we look over here, or it could have been spades, diamonds. We did not have a club, I know that. So the point here is that most of the time you should be checking when you do not have a club. Whereas if you do have a club, there's a little bit of betting large, betting medium, betting small. So we checked, which was fine, and then the button raised to about half pot, and it was back to us, and our nines. We pretty much should have folded from the looks at that. Let me just go back and check what nines we had. Yeah, so it is 9 of spades, 9 of diamonds. We bet small, which was Where were we? Hijack. Let's go back. Yes. Sorry. Well, that was probably well, not necessarily a mistake. You can bet occasionally, but on that we bet small when we should have probably checked. Then button raised, and then back to us, and with our pocket nines. Let's click on that again. The specific hand that we had, again, I've forgotten. Spades, diamonds. Spades, diamonds, we should have folded. Okay. We didn't. So the rest of the hand, I won't analyze it because pretty much made a mistake right there. Yeah, you can continue calling if you have a club in your hand. Okay. Well, that was pretty interesting. Yeah, so keep that in mind. That sort of a flop when you have and there's one overcard to the board, you don't have any suit of a two-suited board, you should be folding a check raise, and you probably shouldn't even be leading it. You should check the flop anyway. Okay, let's continue on. Find another hand. Well, I think I've decided most hands are interesting, possibly. I mean, every hand you can learn something from. So I've forwarded a bit and got another couple of spots here. And interested to see if I did the right thing. Just a simple spot here, but it comes up a lot, is you're in the big blind and mob blind opens, and you have a hand like king six off. Flatting is probably not a great idea. So I sometimes 3-bet hands like this. Let's just not look on the left table for the moment. I just want to see what charts say about that. So let's have a look at that simple spot. Okay, so you are in the big blind, small blind opens, and we had king six off, and I 3-bet, which seems to be a reasonable play. 50-50 it looks like, between a raise and a call. I would have thought you wouldn't call with that. Definitely not calling with king three off, king two off, hands like that. But yeah, you can gain a lot of EV by spots like that, which in the past I've just folded, move on to the next hand. King six off sucks, but you're missing out a lot of EV for sure. So learning these charts, I mean, it's not that hard to sort of say, okay, king five, king six, king seven, king eight, king nine. Let's sometimes 50% of the time bet it, 3-bet it, 50% of the time flat it. Similar things with these jack sixes, jack five, jack sevens. So yeah, encourage you to try and do that a bit more often, just not against me. Okay, so let's go back and let this 9-8 spade play out. Clubs on the left, and I was interested to. I have an open-ended straight draw, but yeah, if a jack came, which it did, I wouldn't have had the best end of the straight. But anyway, that wasn't that interesting. Let's just let that one go and see if we can find something else. Here we go, ace king off with pocket tens. Obviously on the left, it's an easy 3-bet. On the right, I'm not sure what would be the play. Let's just let's stay with the hand on the left for the moment and see it through. Easy 3-bet, and now, of course, I bet. Interestingly, I bet 50%, and he folds. So let's have a look at that first. Okay, so we're in the big blind, and button opens, and we have ace king off, and that is obviously a 3-bet, which we did. Screen has changed here a little bit. I'll explain that on the right. Before I was actually, let me explain it now. I was looking at summary, shows you a summary of the hands, but this actually breaks it down into each hand rather than a summary. You don't see the sizings for the exact hand. That'll become important in a moment when we just get to after the flop. So we bet, and sorry, we raise and button called, and flop came king of hearts, 7 of clubs, 5 of clubs, and for our exact holding, which was ace of hearts, king of diamonds. There's a variety of things we could do. It looks like checking about 42%, betting small, betting medium, betting large, never over betting. I bet half pot, which would be betting medium. Do that 10% of the time. So whatever. It seemed like it was a reasonable play. Interestingly, checking was the thing to do most of the time. Well, 42% of the time. Again, if we split that into simple, it's not coming up, not because of GTO, it's because of I have something in the way, not because of the wizard. Ace of hearts, king of diamonds. So you can just see it there, it just breaks it down. Easier, it's 50-50, betting more than checking, which we did. Okay, so I'm back here. I've paused the hand on the left. We know what happens there. I bet half pot and he folds. Interesting to see what I should be doing here on the right, and the sizings seems okay. So let's have a look. The scenario is under the gun opened, small blind called, and I had a pair of tens. Should I call? Like I said before, calling from the small blind, try not to do that too often, and I end up, looks like 3-betting. So let's play the whole hand out, see what happens. Get about left, me betting, no one looking at it. Oh, look at this guy's stats here. Oh, I assume this guy's going to fold, although he's a short stacker. No, he calls, and we get a rather nice flop. Betting small, seems good, and he folds. So let's just have a look at the pre-flop action. I think was probably the most interesting of that hand. Okay, so this sort of comes down to what sort of strategy you are employing, and like I said before, I like to mainly 3-bet from the small blind and not just flat. So in this instance, so I think I'm trying to get across here is there's various sort of settings you can have in GTO Wizard. We need to take note of what that is. So if we look at this, I have a 6 max in L50. General 2.5x, 100 big blinds. Again, we mouse over that. It tells us it's versatile solutions. Every player opens preflop to 2.5x, and it does have flattings in it. So we'll have a look at this first. And interestingly enough, in that situation, where the under the gun opens and small blind calls, and we have pocket tens, we pretty much, let's go back to summary, flatting a lot apparently. However, if we were to take a look at the other charts here, which are simple, which if you can read that, it says solutions with only 3-bet or fold versus an open, no 4-bet all in and no limping, BVB, blind versus blind. Less post flop sizes. There's also a simple 2.5, but let's just go with that because I know that has a flatting range. Now this reset, it will. Well, we can quickly go through this. Hopefully you might learn something. So I think it was under the gun raised and was fold, small blind, raise. That doesn't work because yeah, it is yeah, the setting is 3-bet or fold from the small blind, and he is in this, one of the opponents is in the small blind, so that will not work. And he's only a short stack of 2. So I was in the big blind, not the small blind. And again, let's go back. But yeah, we really can't use this. So let's just go back to what we had originally, which was 5x, which we looked at already. I'm not going to go there, but it basically said flatting those 10s there is 90%. I think it was 90% of the time. It's probably the best play. I 3-bet, but that seemed to work out. Don't think that was too horrible. Okay, play that hand out. So I bet he folded, and I might just do one more hand and then wrap it up. The rest of this video, what I'm trying to say is I'm about halfway through footage I had. I seem to be going for about 40 minutes so far. So let's just do one more hand and we'll split it up and do the other half of this session. Again, I'm just going to pause unless something pops up now. That doesn't look interesting. Okay, so a couple of hands here. Not going to analyze them. Play. And because I think I did the right thing, Queen Jack off, open it from the button. That's standard play. I checked that guy's stats and folded. And let's just look at that on the left first. I mean, that's just too weak. I'll have a quick look at our charts, the charts rather than picture for that one. Yeah, Queen Jack off, sorry, button opens us and big blind, 3-bets. Sorry, let's go back to this. Queen Jack off, obviously easy open. Big blind, 3-bets, and Queen Jack off is fold 100% of the time. Which we did, which is good. Okay, we fold. Then there was a hand on the right. That's right. Let's go back to that one. Back a bit. That was an easy, it sort of played out itself. Let's just go through. 6s, I looked like I was going to fold it there, but we open. E3 bets, and then there's a cold 4 bet. So that's obviously an easy fold also. And that hand plays out in the left again where I fold it. Okay, this will be the last hand for sure of this video, and it's a spot I'm always a little confused in. Small blind versus big blind. Sometimes I'm confused, sometimes I'm not. So let's just watch it play out. So king 9 off, easy open, I would say, and on that flop, I guess it's a bet, maybe, don't know. I bet half pot and I get raised, and I look at his stats and then fold. Okay, let's have a look at that and see what how that stacks up. So firstly in the charts, small blind, king 9 off, yep, standard open, and let's check that in GTO Wizard. Okay, here we are in GTO Wizard, and it is pretty much the same. Small blind, we raised to 3, and with king 9 off, it agrees. GTO Wizard says yes, it's a good open. Big blind called, flop came queen 7-4 offsuit, spade diamond club, and we bet 33%. If we look at GTO Wizard tells us to do king 9 off, specifically with our hand, and again we will just maybe make this more grouped just to have bet sizes, but our specific hand was king of spades, 9 of diamonds, king of spades, 9 of diamonds, and you mix it up between a bet medium, a bet small, and a check. We bet small, which seems to be fine, and that was raised by the big blind, and king 9 off if raised. Oops, sorry, that's him. Back to us, small blind if raised, or king 9 offs, pretty much a fold, except the very, very, very small time. Seems like it's telling you to, yeah, you can pretty much ignore that. It's a fold, which we did. We folded and checked his stats. Don't know why. That felt like a good idea at the time. Okay, I might just wrap it up there and do a plug for firstly GTO charts. We have a variety of charts, and they're really great to make quick decisions. And you use them after played, and some sites, if they allow it, will let you use them during play. But please abide by the terms and conditions of the poker site you're playing on as to whether you can use these charts or not. As for the pricing, if you want to just check them out, there's a trial. Just pay 99 cents and you get 24-hour trial. You pretty much get all the charts. Check it out. And also don't forget our wonderful sponsor, GTO Wizard, also a free version of that. And you also get 10% off the first purchase. Just click on this link and you'll get 10% off if you purchase it, or you can try it out for free. And then there's more options on our charts. If you like them after you go for the 99-cent option, you can get them for a month, 6 monthly, yearly, or a lifetime. Never expires. Someone requested this, so I put it on for them. All right, that's me for the moment. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to try and finish off analyzing that session. If you like this video, just click the subscribe button and click the like button also, if you haven't already subscribed or liked. And yeah, thanks for listening, and talk to you soon.